Hey guys, it's Shane. Welcome back down to the workshop. Today's video we're going to be finishing off this kukri. In part one we built it all up, and in this one we're going to be latexing, painting and varnishing it. Now a couple of you guys have asked me if I will do a video on wrapping handles. I will do. I'll try and get to that next week. So if you guys want to catch that, please hit the subscribe button and the bell and it'll alert you to when I go live. So let's get into it, guys. So our kukri is all built, everything's fine, it's not moving anywhere, but before we can latex it we need to glue coat. So what we're going to do is take some of our alpha Fix and some of our thinner, and we're going to thin this down. Take some of our thinner, not a lot, just a bit. I do probably enough to just line the bottom. It now, so I need a nice good chunk of it. One more should do it because it's only a dagger. Now just mix that up. Right, once we've got it all mixed up we can start glue coating. Now you need to cover everything that the latex is going to touch. So we have one kukri completely covered. Now we need to let that dry. Just make sure there's no build up on any of the edges. You don't want any like lips or seams that are just bulged, which tends to be on this side once you've put the edge on. So we're going to try and dry that out a little bit with the help of the hairdryer. Okay, so our dagger has now been glue coated. She's dry. And what that does is it allows the latex to bind onto the foam. It's like roughing up an edge so you can set paint over it. Latex does not like to stick to just foam, so we put a glue coat over it just to give it a bit of texture, and then we start latexing. Okay, so we're in our spray bay. We have our dagger held up and we have air gun with latex in. Okay, so make sure it's working. Okay, so up and down the weapon. So our dagger has had one full coat of latex. We're now going to use a hairdryer. Now this is the one for my Twitch channel. This is the Mighty Duck. Okay, just a gentle hairdryer and warm it through. Right, so once the latex has dried, you'll have this thin shine over it. Now this is still quite delicate. It's only had one coat of it, so try not to touch too much on the latex itself. Now what we're going to do now is repeat those last steps. We're going to latex dry until the whole thing has had a minimum of 6 coats and until everything is nice and smooth. This has now had 6 or 7 coats of latex. We're now going to be adding a black coat to it. Right, so she's now dry, and now it's time for the silver coat. Right, so it's had its black coat, it's now dry. Got another spray air gun, and we're going to be putting the silver coat on. So again, nice and steady, over the turn, just gentle coats. So our kukri has now had its black coat and it has now had its silver coat. Now the reason I do the black first is like a primer. It gets rid of any mistakes, any pen marks you might have had on the foam or anything like that. And the grey I put over that, it gives it this iron look. Now like I did with the other videos, that's a basic flexi paint put on there. A black flexi paint followed by a silver flexi paint, which adds a lot of flexibility to it. Okay, it will not crack. It's a brilliant paint. Now, what we're going to do is these parts here and here, this ring and this part here. We're going to use a flexi paint product, which is a gold powder mixed with a bit of water and then a bit of the flexi paint clear, which is this stuff. The beauty thing about this is, whatever you add this to, like these acrylic paints, they become as flexible as normal flexi. So you put in some of the gold powder, mix a bit of water in it so it becomes a fine paste, and then add this flexi paint clear, which will give you this lovely little gold flexi paint. Now this stuff can be buffed as well once it's dry. I tend not to. I'm just going to put a few coats on it and dry it. So make sure you keep mixing it, and let's get started. Right, so that is our gold done. Now we're going to do these grey parts here and here. These are going to be the silver parts, the steel parts, okay? that's our steel effect put on. So what I'm going to do now is go in with the weathering and around these edges with a bit of the smoke, and then we'll darken that up, and then she's ready for varnishing. Okay, so she's now done. I've weathered around these edges, just darkening it slightly, gives it that little bit of grime look. Now I've done around this edge as well, so what we're going to do now is varnish it. Once she's varnished, the only thing I'll have to do then is wrap the handle, which we're going to do in another video. So to varnish it, we're going to use this, which is Isoflex Special Primer. Okay, this is a roof sealant. It dries transparent and it adds a waterproof UV protection, and it's like a rubber. Okay, it's really, really good, but it is extremely toxic, so make sure you wear a mask. So here we go. Okay, so she is varnished, all done and dusted. When she's dry, I will do a video on wrapping the handle like some of you have asked. So that's part 2 finished for this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button. You'll be alerted when I go live with the new videos. Please check out the rest of the videos, and any other tips that I've missed on this one, you should be able to pick up on the other videos. So thanks for joining us, guys, and I shall see you on the next one. Cheers.